Hey, good morning, everybody. John here at Havoc Maker Studio. That was a little loud, I imagine, but thanks for sticking around to watch the video. So here we are at Havoc Maker Studio and FNP Wargamers, and today we're going to cover the newest release, at least character card wise. With it's going to be Jean Grey from CP53. And she's also going to be showing up with Cassandra Nova. So I think in the next couple of days we will see the panel to play for Cassandra Nova, and then next week we'll see her character card. We're going to go over a couple other models that they've talked about and do some little speculating on maybe a little theory crafting on what we're going to see. But let's cover Jean Grey first, as being one of the most powerful psychics on the planet, and now she's made her way into the game. Let's take a look at her powers. So the only difference between the healthy side, which is the side with the blue background, and the injured or dazed side, the red background, is she gets one more point of health on her injured side. That's the only difference. So that's all we're going to cover. So they just call her Jean Grey, not Marvel Girl, not Marvel Woman or anything like that. It's just Jean Grey. That's it. That's her code name. So starting at top to bottom, left to right, she's got 6 health, 7 on her other side, so total 13. Medium movement, it's good. Size 2, normal. Threat 5, which is really high. I think the Hulk is the only one. It's a Hulk and Thanos, I believe, are 6s. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to double check. But she's definitely high up there on points, and we're going to be looking at her powers to see why. Her defenses are really good. An okay physical defense, 3. That's about the average. She's got 4 on energy resistance, which is really good, and then a 5 on mystical. Mystical kind of encompasses mental attacks and magic. It's like I said before. There's instead of coming up with all these different types of defenses and attack things, they put everything under an umbrella. So mystic attacks also means telepathic, psychic, that sort of thing. So her first attack is a mystic attack, speaking of, and it's Psionic Bolt. It's range 4, which is very impressive, very impressive. It's got 5 damage dice, which is very healthy, very, very healthy, and 0 power cost. That's normal. After this attack is resolved, this character gains power equal to the damage dealt. That's pretty much standard now for most abilities. Not everybody has that, but I would say the vast majority, I would say around 75-80% of the current character roster has that ability. Also, if you roll the wild symbol, you get sap power. So before damage is dealt, the target character loses 1 power for each, and it looks like it's the wild symbol. It might be the critical success, but I think it's the wild symbol. It's kind of hard to see on my screen here. For each wild symbol in the attack roll, and this character gains that amount. So when you're rolling the dice, if you're not familiar and you're making an attack, majority of the times there's the hit symbol, which I think there's 2 on the dice. There's the wild symbol, and there's the critical success symbol. So those 3 are normally what's required to hit or to cause damage. And you're rolling 5 dice, you're pretty much almost guaranteed to get at least one of those. I mean, not a guarantee, but pretty high chance. I think that puts it at a 60% chance of at least getting one. I don't know. I'll let you guys do the math. Anyways, so she can get a lot of power really quick from just doing the damage, and also for every wild symbol, she's going to get that power regardless if they cause damage or not. So she's getting power. She's going to get a lot of power. The 1 per turn that you get at the start of the activation, the next round of the activation phase, and then, of course, this ability right here, Sonic Bolt. So she's going to be sucking up power, which is really good. Her next attack is a physical attack, and it's a telekinetic force. Before damage is dealt, if the character that you're targeting is size 4 or less, which is pretty much everybody. I don't think there's anybody that is under or over size 4 right now, though there is very likely we're going to be seeing the Sentinel, and we're pretty sure, or I'm pretty sure at least, and I'm pretty much, I might have to do a giveaway if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, Miss Marvel, or not, yeah, Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan getting a large size model and her little one, If I'm wrong about that, I'm going to give that miniature away, that box away, if I'm wrong. So anyway, so she's going to be able to throw everybody around. It's only short range, but on top of that, it's range 3, so it's a decent range. Nine, nine dice. That's awesome. That is a lot of power, and it's going to cost a lot of power, 6. But looking at her initial ability, Psionic Bolt, within maybe around turn 2, you could theoretically be able to pop this off. Theoretically. And at 9 dice, that's impressive. It also has the ability called Explosive, which you roll the wild symbol after damage is dealt. Other enemy characters within range 2 of the target character suffers 1 damage. So that, and range 2, I figured it'd be like range 1, range 2, and it did. And 1 damage, okay, that's nice. A nice little after effect. That means we'll probably be seeing more explosive in the future. So let's take a look at her other abilities. Her first superpower is Battlefield Manipulation. Choose an interactive terrain feature of size 4 or less within range 3 and throw it medium range. This superpower can only be used once per turn. Size 4 or less. This shows, I'm fairly certain she is an Omega level mutant like Iceman and Storm. And to be able to pick up a size 4 building and toss it range 3, toss it medium range is impressive. And somebody's going to take that 4 damage to the face. It only costs 3 power. I don't know if I would want to be using this too often, but it's definitely nice to have in your pocket. Matter Transmutation. Choose another character with an activated token within range 2 and push it range S, or small, short, whatever. A character can be moved by this superpower only once per turn. A character can only be moved by this superpower only once per turn. A character, not this power can only be used once per turn. So if you've got enough power and you want to push, if I'm reading this right, and you guys let me know in the comments below, if you have enough power, you can start pushing other characters. And it doesn't say, it just says choose another character with an activated token. It doesn't say enemy or ally character, it just says character. That could be a lot of great manipulation on either pushing your characters into position to claim an objective, or it could be pushing the enemy characters around to get them in range of your unactivated characters. There's a lot of cool control abilities there that I really like. Those powers are not, they don't require an action. They just require power. So, boy, man, you put her in with, I think it's Captain America, like Steve Rogers' Captain America. I think they reduced the cost of their first superpower activation by 1. She might be good in an Avengers roster, just to reduce that power cost. Since she's generating a lot of power, but anything to reduce that power cost, I think would be good. She's got a reactive power called Shield Mine. It's going to cost 2 power. When this character or an allied character within range 4, which is huge, of it would be advanced, placed, or pushed by the effects of an enemy. I can't see that symbol. It looks like an enemy mystic attack or enemy superpower. You may use this superpower. The allied character is not advanced, placed, or pushed. Yeah, it looks like that's the symbol for mystic. So she's kind of, basically, she's anti-control. She's a control character, and she's got anti-control abilities. And for 2 power, that's ridiculously cheap, especially, like I said, if you have some tactic cards or some other characters that can reduce the cost of power, even though she's going to be able to generate a lot, that's going to be very helpful. She's got 2 innate abilities. First up is Latent Psychic Potential. We know that she's one of the most powerful psychics on the planet. During the power phase, this character gains 1 additional power. So she's getting 2 power at the start of every round or every game turn during the power phase. So she's automatically going to get 2. And then she's going to, what is this? The Psionic Bolt. As long as she's hitting somebody, when you get the wild symbol, you're going to be, she's going to be generating more power than I think any other character out there, to be totally honest with you. She's going to be just generating a lot of power, and that's exciting because I think she's going to end up being, even at with a threat level of 5 or 5 points, she's going to be a must-have in any team really. And I see a lot of people probably going to be doing some Dark Phoenix look to her, or who knows what type of character, how they're going to be painting her. Her last innate power, let me finish wrap her up, is flight. No big surprise there. It's not that she can fly; she just has it's her telekinesis that allows her to, well, basically allow her to fly. She doesn't have some innate Superman ability that allows her to bend gravity and fly through the air, or whatever the current thing is. But she does have that fly ability, which is good. That medium movement gives her some good range, and a lot of her abilities are long range. So she's going to be able to really flitter about the battlefield and from range generate a lot of power and really can kind of control the flow. I think she's going to be a must-have character. I really do. And normally I'm not a big fan of Jean Grey, and it's really not Jean Grey that I have an issue with. It's Scott Summers, Cyclops, the whiner, the biggest crybaby whiner, Weinstein. Oh my gosh, it just gritting on my teeth. In the comics, in the cartoons, in the live action, it's just Jean. I can't even. It's making me so mad right now thinking about this. I really hope that they will come out with her counterpart, which is a clone. Mr. Sinister had created a clone, Madeline Pryor. And I'm really hoping that when the time comes, we're going to get Madeline Pryor with Havoc. They'll be in the same box. That would be awesome. And if you know what I'm talking about, why those two together would be awesome, well, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so moving on, let's get on to some of these other characters that we're just going to do a quick speculation on. I think first up, let's talk about Moon Knight. So I've tried to do a couple of videos recently, but I just, when you fail at something and you just know you failed at it. Last week I've got probably about 6 or 7 videos in my saved on here on the hard drive, just waiting to be uploaded, and it included Blade and Moon Knight and a couple other things, and I just couldn't get it out. They were just bad videos, and so I'm still going to cover them because Moon Knight's on his way with Blade, and I feel like they need to be talked about. So the first thing, some people, and in a way I agree, not too happy with the way Moon Knight looks, and I think I nailed it. It's not the model himself. I like his pose. It looks very predatory, like he's about ready to pounce on some villains or some street thugs, that sort of thing. But I think it's the paint job. It looks very poor compared to the artwork that's out there. It is very poor, and I think as I'm looking at it, and I talked to another very briefly, just an exchange of messages, the character looks like whoever painted him does not, know how to paint white. It looks very gritty, and not it shouldn't be gritty. It should be a smooth paint, like they just didn't know how to apply white paint. And I think that's what's wrong with the character to me. I could be wrong. You guys might think otherwise, but I'm pretty sure that's what's selling. That's what's not selling it for me. The pose I think is good. I think he looks very intimidating, and I think that's why I like also Moon Knight. Since the 80s, I think it was. I'm trying to remember when I remember reading those comics at my grandma's house that I snuck out of my brother's room. I think it was, I want to say it was the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, and alongside the long shot comics and such. So, anyways, I've loved Moon Knight. He's one of my top 10 characters, hands down. Maybe. Yeah, I'd say he's one of my top 10 characters. So let's just do some quick speculation. I want to knock out him and Blade in the next few minutes. I think this box with him and Blade, I think this is more of a collector's box than it is oh my gosh, I have to have these characters in my team. We still haven't seen the stats or even a panel to play, but they're not overwhelming characters. They're very niche characters, and I'm going to be curious to see how good they are. I I don't. I'm not. My hopes are. My expectations are low on these, but I'm going to get them mainly. Actually, I really just want Moon Knight. I'm going to get Blade, just because he comes in the box. So I think he's going to have. I think Moon Knight's going to have some great physical defenses, at least a 4. The other ones are. I imagine his energy resistance will be probably a 3. And I have a feeling because if you're not familiar, Mark Spector, the Moon Knight, has multiple personality disorder. I think they call it something else now instead of multiple personality disorder. I forget what the the DSM or DSM says, but he has multiple personalities, and I think that's going to provide him with some mental defenses. So I wouldn't be surprised if his mystic defense is a 4. Plus, he has the blessing of Nashu or Koshu or whatever the Egyptian god of the moon is. So I think we're going to see a good mystical defense and a good physical defense and a lower or at least average energy defense. I think his health will probably be 5 on both sides. Maybe a 6 on his wounded side. I could see his wounded side going up 1 because this guy can fight through a lot and a lot of pain and suffering and keep on going. So I could see them going, hey, let's boost up his injured side. Attack wise, I think he's going to obviously have a physical attack. I think he's going to, with his staff, I think we're going to see at least a range 2, at the very least, a basic attack that's range 2. I think we'll see a range attack that's going to be a 3 because of his mobility, agility, his array of weapons. I think his first attack is going to be a physical attack, range 3, probably 5 dice, 0 power. And, of course, I can see him also doing amongst all of his other attacks. I can see him getting stagger and stun, maybe bleed because he has like these lunarangs. I know I'm using Batman terminology here, but he's thrown like basically little moon-shaped shurikens or half-moon-shaped shurikens before. I think he's used sickles, scythes. Man, why can't I think of it? He's used a variety of weapons. So I think he's going to be able to inflict maybe even the bleed effect, stagger, stun, or stun on opponents. He's going to probably have some sort of martial arts skill that's somewhere around there. He doesn't have a lot of abilities. That's why I think this guy's going to be really kind of meh. He's going to be very mundane. I would be surprised if he's above a 3. If he's above a 3 on his threat level or his point level, I'll be really surprised. I think his biggest thing will be his mental defenses, or because of his mental, I don't know if it's a mental disability or a psychological disability. I think we're going to see that come into play a lot more than his other special abilities. And I wouldn't be surprised if he also has something like, if you're not in range 3 of him or range 2 of him, you cannot target him, kind of like what they have with Black Widow and one other character I can't think of off the top of my head. Well, let me know what you guys think that this character is going to have. I mean, I'm excited because it's Moon Knight, and I like the street level characters more than most of the cosmic level characters. I think the street level are a little bit more real, and I think it's easier to resonate and empathize with those type of characters than the big cosmic ones. All right, let's jump over to his partner in crime, at least for the box, and it's going to be Blade. Blade looks really good. So some people are mentioning that it looks like on the right side, upper jaw or upper row of teeth, looks like he might be missing a tooth. I'm hoping it's just a pixel thing, or maybe it didn't get painted or something. I think that I can see what they're talking about. It looks like he is missing a tooth. Now, he's another one of those street level characters. Okay, so yes, he is half vampire. He's got superhuman speed, strength, endurance. So I think we're going to see that come into play. But I really don't know. I mean, he's just an expert fighter. He's got lots of gadgets. He's going to have lots of probably similar gadgets to, say, Mark Spector. Maybe he's going to be along the same lines as Black Widow. And even though Black Widow in the comics does have some superpowers, but ultimately she's just a normal human. Also, Clint Barton, the Hawkeye. I mean, these are normal street level characters. Well, maybe not totally street level, but it's not like he's throwing energy blast around there. So imagine he's going to have a high mobility, probably no wall crawling. I wouldn't be surprised though, going back to Moon Knight, that he probably will have wall crawling. I could see that happening. Probably medium movement for both of these guys. I think Blade will probably have higher than average health. I can see him doing 6, probably on both sides. Maybe 7 and then a 6. 7 on the healthy side, 6 on the injured side, because blood loss to a vampire, or even a half vampire, is a little devastating. Instead of a normal regeneration, I could see him, if he causes a point of damage or deals some sort of health damage, he can regain up to 1 point per turn. Or they might just go ahead and say, you know what, let's just give him regeneration 1 and call it a day. I think that would be easier, but maybe even give him a superpower that says, hey, if he causes a bleed effect or something, that he will get a point of health only once per turn. Speaking of bleed, I can see that as one of his main attack abilities. This guy definitely knows how to put the hurt on vampires, which can very easily translate over to normal people, and using all sorts of deadly weapons and special abilities or special training, martial arts and such like that. I think he's going to be able to, at least one of his basic attacks, one of his first 2 attacks. He might have 3, just like Moon Knight. They might have 3 attacks, very similar to how War Machine has 3 basic attacks. That at least one of those is going to have the bleed special rule. Armor wise, I don't know. I really don't know anything else, guys. I'm actually at a loss for these two. They are such underpowered characters. And yes, I realize that, currently in the Marvel universe, the comic book universe, Moon Knight just took down the Avengers. I think it was actually last year, took down the Avengers, stole all their powers and weapons. And I know that Blade was running around with the Avengers. And then after King in Black, he is now like the marshal, or the in charge of law enforcement in Chernobyl, which is now the Vampire Nation. So things are a little different, but this all looks like it's pre-present comic books. This is supposed to be like old school comics, not present day, since present day is kind of all over the place. So I think this is classic Blade. So not a lot of superpowers, or he doesn't have the man thing attached to him or anything like that. I think it's man thing. Fear the touch of the man thing, something like that. So I mean, obviously we don't see him there. So I'm pretty sure that this is pre anything recent. So he's just going to be strong. He's going to be fast. He's going to be durable. And he's probably going to be ridiculously cheap. I would say at the very least, I would say a 3. If he's a 2, I'll be surprised. And if he's a 4, I'll really be surprised. So probably 3 points or 3 threat. So we still have a lot more characters come down. So next week, we're going to be getting to see Cassandra Nova as her character card. We'll probably get the panel to play. What is today? Wednesday. So we'll probably get that Thursday, probably tomorrow. And then I think coming up after that, we're going to get obviously Blade and Moon Knight's panel to plays and their character cards. I think coming after that, though, we're probably ready for Juggernaut and or Colossus. And I wouldn't be surprised. I think Colossus is probably going to come with Kitty Pryde. I wouldn't be surprised. I think Juggernaut will be sold separately. And then, of course, we know Miss Marvel's coming, and I'm still, unless I'm wrong, if I'm wrong, I'm still going to give the box away. I'm going to give that box as a giveaway. I'll buy it, whoever she's paired up with, and it's going to be a giveaway. If I'm right, well, I'm right, and I get to pat myself on the back. But I think Miss Marvel is still going to come with a large size Miss Marvel, and I think that's probably going to be in sync with either the Marvels, the Captain Marvel 2 movie, the Marvels, or whatever they're calling it now, or her TV show. It'll probably be sometime around then. So we might see it, I would say, near the fall. Cross my fingers, because I really like that character. I know she's a bit controversial, and they keep trying to reboot her comic, and I'm like, stop rebooting her comic. Just put her in a team and go from there. At any rate, let me know what you guys think down in the description below. Leave it down in the comments. Also, we hit 100 followers here or subscribers here on Havoc Maker Studio. We're still waiting to get to 3,000 over on FNP Wargamers, so make sure you jump over there. That link is down below, or if you're on FNP Wargamers, the link is down below for Havoc Maker Studio. Jump over. If you're here on Havoc Maker Studio, if you are one of the people that is a subscriber, I'm going to be doing a drawing. It'll probably be Friday because I am knocking out a commission right now, and I've got 3 days to finish it. So probably Friday's show, we are going to, actually, you know what? Friday's show, we are going to, on Twitch, we're going to do the giveaway. And it's going to be a double giveaway. I think that's what I said, a double giveaway. Could be a triple, but definitely a double giveaway. And I'm going to randomly draw from all those subscribers on YouTube, from the Havoc Maker Studios YouTube channel. So thank you so much for getting out there and hitting that subscribe button and getting your friends and family to do it. It's really easy. Now you get a chance to win some prizes, guys and gals. At any rate, if you have not subscribed yet, make sure you do before Friday. Just create a quick YouTube account and hit subscribe, and now you're entered until Friday. All right, guys and gals. Anyways, have a wonderful day. I'm going to try to be back later on today with some other videos, some positive ones. I think that was a problem with the other videos. They were super, super negative because there's a lot of negative information out there for the gaming industry, and I wanted to capitalize on it, but I felt slimy doing it, so I stopped. At any rate, I'll talk to you all later. Have a wonderful day and stay safe.